about attachment issues.
Webs going down there. How do you feel to be God's favorite?
Can I tell you a funny story that I think
That's a cause of concern.
I miss you. I want us to be okay.
My forehead looks ginormous.
Your forehead?
That's better.
You feel cute though? You cute?
No, I don't.
Oh, God.
Anyways, so today's topic, kids, is attachment issues.
We all have them. Well, some people don't, but
No,
I definitely do.
everybody has a attachment form. Destiny, what do you think your attachment style is?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes like I really flip-flop. I'm a very avoidant person, but I'm not like your typical anxious where I'm blowing up people's phones and stuff. But like I'll be anxiously thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like every second, like when I open my eyes until I rest my head at night. Yeah.
So you think you're like anxious avoidant?
I guess those two can go together.
Yeah, that's disorganized.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
which means you're
disorganized.
both, yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm also probably disorganized. I lean more towards avoidant. Like same thing, like I would never like blow up someone's phone. I think I've only done that like once in my life. But the only reason I blow up people's phones really is because I have like anxiety about I'm just worried about if you're alive. Like I'm not worried about if you're with a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I just need to know you're breathing. That gives me anxiety, but I don't care if you're with a girl. It's not my problem. That's why I have a back. It's not my issue.
Wait, why you have a back?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like what you do behind my back is like it's not my problem. Like you know what I mean?
I thought you meant like I have a back, like a backup person. So anyhow you want to do that, I'm gonna call my backup person and be like, hey, what are you doing right now?
No. I mean like I have a back, so like whatever you do behind it is not my concern.
Okay, I got you.
How would you say your attachment style like comes across in relationships and stuff, or situationships, since that's all that's really occurring these years?
These days, no, seriously, like we used to be in like a relationship and after
It's like 8 years ago.
yeah, it's just never again. They would all say that I'm very avoidant, and like that's such an issue. I don't want people that I care so deeply about thinking that I don't care about them.
So you think like every person you've been with would say you're avoidant?
Yeah. I need to work on my communication, responding sometimes in a timely fashion.
You know what's so interesting? Because I feel like you're disorganized, but I feel like we're both very different though.
Yeah,
like,
how would they view you?
Styles. I'm not bad with like messaging somebody. Well, actually, that's not true. But I can be better. I'm better at that than Destiny is. I just can't read what you want. Like one moment you're here and then the next day you don't talk to me at all.
So they can't tell if you want them or not?
Yeah, I'm just really hot and cold. One day I'm like, and then the next I just like won't talk to you for 2 days just because I don't know, it's like
I need some time for yourself again?
I feel like it's that, and like I just got like overwhelmed because then I'm feeling like am I in a relationship? Like no, I'm not. Like
so you feel like you have to fall back,
I just have to fall back because I don't want like I did too much. Like they're probably gonna read this wrong, so I'm just gonna fall back. Yeah. And two, it's like anything, like if there's any type of like energy switch where I feel like somebody's not really like, you know, when you're hyper aware, so you're like, okay, they did this, I don't feel like they fuck with me enough, then it's like, alright, deuces.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about me, I am not,
ever again in your life, like, don't worry.
I'll do that too though, but if I'm thinking about it for too long, the like anxious part of me will find a way, somehow, some way to reach out, probably when I shouldn't. But because I'm just like, is it really gonna be gone forever? Maybe I could still keep them at like a comfortable-ish distance, that you're distant but you're not so far. That's gonna make me feel safer. So I feel like attachment issues definitely come in. Like sometimes you have to let things go, you have to let people go.
Yeah. I feel like we all have those people where it's like some people it's like, why is it so easy for me to like have boundaries with you, and then somebody else will come along and you're like, take my soul, take my here, you need a house here, you need shoes, like you know what I mean? You just don't have any boundaries, you can't cut them off. It's just like harder with some people and it's easier with others. Once you start thinking, and once you start thinking too long, it's like, okay, let me just message them, like,
reach out, like maybe just show, I still care, like, or if you ever really need me, I'm here, like, just so you know. And yeah, sometimes it just can come across as like you're really trying too hard. Just relax. Attachment's hard. Moving on. How do you move on? How do people move on? Let's say somebody just is going through a breakup right now.
We need to normalize wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, what were you saying? But your lashes are done, they look so good.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to see something. Oh, like, this is a look. Are you guys crazy?
You know, you look very like, it's the black hair with the hoodie and the glasses right now. It's really killing me. Like, me and you just look like two opposite girls.
No, really. I look like I'm hiding from somebody.
Yeah, I
or I'm hungover or whatever. I like this vibe, but
it is a vibe. You look good.
Thanks. Love you.
Love you too.
You know what's crazy though? There's people that are secure. Like that.
Yeah, wow, that must
that must be wow. Like, how do you feel to be God's favorite? That you are secure in how you're feeling in like relationships and stuff. And you know what too? I think when you're disorganized, you tend to, depending on the partner you're with.
Oh my god, who's calling me? I'm celibate actually.
Okay, shut up. Anyways, I don't want to hear it. Others have fucking webs growing down there. But...
No, wait, can I tell you a funny story that I... Okay. Oh my god, no. I'm gonna get red, I'm gonna choke. It's too embarrassing, but it's so funny. But you know, we're all human and we all do things.
What the fuck are you talking about, girl? Please.
Basically, because I've been a celibate queen for a long time, I was like, you know, browsing the internet. Somehow, some way, I ended up on a website, whatever, right?
But yeah.
So I'm on the website, right?
Somehow she ended up on fucking hub.com. Like, oh yeah, it just happens sometimes. It'll just pop up as an ad and...
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, I was on there and I was like, lesbian. There's like this movie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is this? So I click on it. And why does it say directed by Young M.A.? I'm like, what the fuck? There's no way. And then this girl's walking and all of a sudden you just hear in the background, you ain't got that hot sauce. And they're just playing her tracks and I'm like, this is not real life.
Did you touch yourself to that?
Anyways, stick to the point.
That's a cause for concern.
No, it was so funny though, like I couldn't take it seriously. I was just laughing because they kept on playing her music throughout.
That's so weird.
And they had like her straps in it and stuff. I was like, what is happening right now?
That is really weird. Like, I couldn't imagine trying to touch myself and then you hear,
You went got the house.
I call her Stephanie. I call her Stephanie.
Your two girls are namming each other's asses. That's crazy. Yeah, some people are secure though. That's what I was saying. Depending on the relationship that you're in and like the person that you're with, I feel like the attachment style will vary. Like if you're more avoidant, like when you're with an anxious person, you'll probably be avoidant. But when you're with an avoidant, you become more anxious.
Yeah. Because if somebody's like blowing up my phone way too much, I don't like that. At the same time, like, I need my space. I need my time with other people other than you. I have a life outside of you. So I don't like that. But I love being up under somebody's skin. Like, you know, Bati and Bench. I need my space.
I'm extremely confused.
I'm fucking confused, bro.
What do you prefer?
I don't mind being under somebody's skin, but it has to be like somebody that I genuinely like to be around. And I can't be like that with just anyone. When those times that we are apart, we're secure enough to know like, okay, I don't need to be blowing up your phone. I'm gonna see you later. Be present with the other things.
Yeah.
When I'm with you, yeah, like, all I see is you, sunshine, rainbow, butterflies. When I'm not with you, I can't just like be dust now and not be able to hang out with my friends properly without like, there's some people that hang out with their friends and they'll be on FaceTime with their partner the whole time. What is the point of us hanging out? Just go be with them and come back when you're done.
Sometimes that can be abusive though, because like somebody's so controlling that you need to be on the phone all the time for them to know where you are. Are those people that like can't even have like girl nights, like they have to bring their man or whatever? That is way too much. My teacher, I think he's also like a therapist, my professor, so he was saying that like with attachment styles, more often it doesn't change. All you can do is just like adjust to like learn how to cope with it better and not like blow up somebody's phone if you're anxious, or not be so avoidant if you're avoidant. It's like harder to actually like change the style.
Because you're kind of set in your ways.
And it usually comes from like childhood. I don't feel like mine comes from childhood.
Because what do you feel like your childhood made you?
My dad wasn't there, maybe that's why. Intermittent reinforcement. There then you're not, there then you're not. Because I remember like my first relationship, I don't know if you remember, I even still have it in my notes. And I didn't like give it to Chewy. That was like my first boyfriend's name, well, nickname that I called him. But I fucking wrote a letter to myself about like how this is gonna end and stuff, and like everything ends. And
yeah, you were always talking about that into him,
that.
and you made him angry when he did that.
Yeah, I would get
like,
him
why?
so angry because he'd be like, bro, why are you in a relationship, you weirdo? If you keep telling me that this relationship is gonna end, and I'm like, well, it is gonna end one way or another. It's not a bad thing. Like I'm enjoying the time that we have, but I know it's gonna come to an end. Really weird like that. I don't know. That must be abandonment though.
Because you're like, okay, you know it's gonna come, so you're just preparing yourself for it. You never wanted to like get your hopes up and get too giddy, because you're like, okay, well, this is gonna end though. Yeah. This is gonna be it though.
So I'd always try to like prepare myself, but you can't prepare yourself for most things that come in life. So if you're trying to do that, don't bother, honestly. Oh my god, there's this quote too. This is literally so relatable. It was like, if you give me the slightest sense of abandonment, I will outdo you.
You're just like, no, I know what's coming, and I know how to protect myself. That's your like defense mechanism.
I'm gonna leave before I get left. I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me. I'm gonna do this. Like, that shit's not good though.
Because you end up hurting yourself sometimes and like missing out on things that maybe weren't gonna turn out
Yeah,
bad.
we're not gonna turn out bad, and then you hate yourself too. So yeah, that's not a good thing to do. Just enjoy things while they're there, and even if you think something is gonna end, or you think like somebody's not being good to you, just be good to them regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I think
if somebody's not being good to you, just be good to them.
Yeah, like, not in the sense of like, if you know somebody's cheating on you and you guys are in a committed relationship, just stick around and be a mon clown. No, I mean like, you have trust issues, so you're always thinking that somebody's gonna do you wrong. Regardless if you think like that, still do right by them.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I'm saying?
Because when you go into it thinking that, you're fostering that, and then it's gonna happen because you keep on bringing that up.
Yeah, like,
or you're just gonna make the person sad too. Like, imagine like if I'm always like coming to this person that say we're talking, I'm like, oh well, like just always talking about the end, talking about how we're gonna done each other off. I feel like it's just you're coming into it very negatively.
Energy. Like, could you imagine you're with somebody and constantly, this is gonna end, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
you're blessed, baby. This is gonna end. I'm just letting you know.
Like, bro,
what?
That was done to me. Just, you know, this is gonna end. And like, I remember it got to the point where like we had still been talking for like extended period of time, and they were like, holy shit, like I've never talked to somebody for this long, like in my life. Like, not even their relationships they were in for that long. And I was like, oh well, like that's okay. But I feel like that made them really scared. Like, nah, I don't understand. Like, I'm not supposed to. I wasn't supposed to be here. This wasn't the plan. I wasn't still supposed to be here. Yeah, like some people when they have something set in their mind, then like I have to abort. I have to abort because it was never supposed to get this far.
Yeah, I definitely feel that one 100%.
And that's hard because it's like you feel like you're making progress somewhere with somebody, and then like it just gets ripped away from you. Like when you're like so close now, like, you know, you're getting so much closer, things are like understanding each other on deeper levels now, and it's like because things are getting so intimate and intense and scary, it's like no. It was never supposed to touch these levels by.
And also too, it's like, are you like when you are having these genuine moments and you feel like you're getting closer, are they like, you know what I mean? Like, get me out. Like, you know, like overwhelmed by it. Like, you don't even know. Deep this, everybody. When I imagine myself, I'm always leaving. I couldn't draw my own face if God asked. Then write a poem about the fact that you've never been faithful to anyone. You always kept one hand feeling along the walls for a knob, a hinge, a latch to release the pressure in the chamber. I demand unconditional love and complete freedom, and that is why I'm terrible. That is crazy. When I read those, I was like, oh my god, is this play about me? Is this play about us? Like, I was like, that is so crazy.
But I didn't know, as terrible as that sounds, like, I don't think that makes you terrible.
I know, I don't think it makes me terrible either, but it's like true. Like, I really want like so much freedom, but
unconditional love at the same time.
Unconditional love, and it's like it can work like that, but not really though. So
and like, well, how are you walking with somebody holding their hand but like still feeling the wall the whole time?
Literally, I'm always leaving, always right there, like never really in anything.
Because it's just, I feel like it's safe for like shallow waters, you know? If you're in the deep end, like, oh my god, how the fuck do I get back there? It's gonna be harder to get back there.
Yeah. And love has a way of like just drowning you. It just starts to rain and then it just pours, and then you're
You're good.
Also, when you're like avoidant or anxious, I think that usually comes from being in like these unhealthy, chaotic, toxic relationships. So trying to even be with a secure person often will probably feel very boring. So you're just like, is this really love if I'm not drowning in it?
People confuse things with passion though.
Yeah, exactly.
And is it passion or is it all the, like, there's just so many ups and downs, but the highs are really high and the lows are really low. It's not stable, but sometimes it's just gonna take people, they're gonna go on their own journey and find out in their own time. It's just sad. It's like, why can't everything just work out for everyone and everyone just be happy? The end.
Yeah.
But
But I would
it's
say,
not reality.
I don't know, like advice wise though, if you're struggling with like an attachment issue though, like I would say really like honestly exposure therapy. You just have to do what like scares you most. Like if you are one of those people that like you're like, okay, I need to stop blowing up people's phones or telling them how much I love them the second weekend. You know, if that's something you want to change, like literally, like you just have to force yourself to not do it. Yeah, it's gonna be really uncomfortable, but
sometimes also it's okay to keep things to yourself until the time is right. You have to try your best to like read situations.
oh yeah, yeah. Not every day, like fucking, what is it, like. Yeah, confess your love for somebody. Like, please read the room. Like, do they feel like this? Do they even want a relationship? Do they, like, no.
Because sometimes we get so caught up in our own brains. I really want everyone to watch 500 Days of Summer. Because there was this guy and he was so attached to this girl. Like, he fell in love with his coworker, wanted to spend like every waking moment with her, and like had it in his head that they were so in love and soulmates. But like she just really wasn't feeling him like that. And
No, I think you're just remembering the good stuff. Next time you look back, I really think you should look again.
there would be times where the girl would be so distant and just like not really care to talk to him. But like to him, the one day that she wasn't talking to him was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? And she just came back the next day like, oh hey, what's up? It wasn't fazing her. Interesting how two people can read the same situation very differently. Always try and be aware and analyze things so you know how to move forward.
And another thing, like I know we talked about this, but like literally listen to what people say. Don't listen to what their actions are. And I know that's really confusing because everybody says the opposite, but like bro, you guys can't tell me you haven't like chilled with a girl, a band, even in the movie, like they're hanging out and in the moment it's like what they seem so in love with me, but they've told me they don't want this relationship with me, right? But they're every time we chill they love me, I can tell, like they hug me, No, listen to what people tell you. If somebody's telling you they do not want a relationship, they probably very much they don't want one.
Hugging up with somebody, laying up doesn't equate
to wanting a committed relationship. Like, sorry, I read so many comments about 500 Days of Summer and they're like, when I watched this when I was younger, I thought Summer was the villain, but now I see like she really wasn't. People don't listen. She did tell him, like, I don't do relationships, I don't do love. And sure, it seemed like that on paper because it's like we're spending so much time together, but she's constantly telling you, this is what I want, this is what I don't. So you can't just try to read between lines. I think that's the biggest problem. They're like, okay, but they did this. Like, it is what it is.
Sometimes people will just like spend time with you because they like you still.
Yeah, and they like you as a human being. It just doesn't mean
some of them are just bored and they're just trying to fill up space. It's
life. Like, you've probably done the same. Don't read between lines.
It's what's gonna hurt you. We want to stop people from getting hurt out there.
And what did she say? Remember that line when he's like, how did you know he was the one?
Oh, and she was like, I finally felt what I was waiting to feel with you.
That was a tough one. There was just no question, you know what I mean? She didn't have to like, she didn't have to wait, she didn't have to question if he was the one. Like, there was no question, he just was. And he just wasn't. You'll find the person that's meant for you. Maybe you already found them and they're sitting right in front of you and you don't even know.
Sometimes you just have to like appreciate what you have too. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
Bro, water your grass. It's not greener on the other side. Bro, there's that Dave lyric. We're all nothing to someone, and that you can't forget. So just remember, when the girl's playing hard to get, there's probably another person that she's trying hard to get, and there's probably a girl in your phone right now that you hardly text that's looking for love, but everybody wants what they can't touch. yourself. You're fucking begging for somebody, they're begging for somebody else, you know, and you're like, why don't they want me? Because somebody doesn't want them and it's not you. You know what I mean? But everybody just wants what they can't have and what they can't touch.
Why can't we ever be satisfied? You are just a character in somebody's story, but you don't even know like which character you are.
You don't even know. And that too is why like situationships, I really feel like most of the time are like, what a situationship is a situationship to one and nothing to the other person. That's usually what that is. Like, it's something to you, nothing to them. Oh god, a lot of this was just like hard truths, but it's good things to know.
Slap in the face, but they're good reminders. You know what attachment aspect is really hard for me? That I was realizing? Sleeping alone. Like that Drake song, I hate sleeping alone. Like, fuck, I felt that. Like, half the time we don't end up fucking, I don't ask her for nothing.
To say that lyric.
She leaves me in the, like, I don't see her for months, but I hate sleeping alone, and it's, like, crazy, because I have that problem. It's just that comfort that you have, especially, like, when you've spent so much time sleeping with somebody or, like, that person, and, like, at night, I feel like I feel it the most. Like, I'll be, like, sleeping, and I'm by myself, and I'm, like, I feel, like, the sense of longing is so... It's too much to bear almost sometimes.
Oh my god, and that there's song by Drake, I get lonely too. Like, I get lonely too. Like, bro, you know, and you'll be okay during the mornings, the day. It's just when it gets, you know, dark and just like, wow.
The world gets a little quiet, your mind gets a little loud.
You just want your person, like, and that's it. It's really lonely. And me too, bro. Like, my nightmares are so bad. I literally can't. Like, I just hate it. It's so scary. I have such a vivid nightmare, you know? So I'm always, like, waking up thinking I have to, like, protect my life, so...
Do you still sleep with the knife?
Yes. Every night. I sleep with the knife.
You know what part of attachment I think is pretty sad, though? Let's say some people have been, like, talking, dating for a long time. Like, years, right? They're just so used to each other. And it's, like, that comfort. That's beautiful. They like that because they feel safe in it. But I've seen, like, sometimes people, like, having conversations. You guys are on FaceTime and, like, nobody's even saying anything to anyone. Like, not in a cute way, like, oh, you're just there in the background. In a way where it's, like, you guys don't really have anything to talk about. And it's just, like, you're trying to force things to say to try and, like, keep something going. When things are dead, they're dead. And it's almost like you're trying to reach and grab for something that was there in the beginning because you're so heavily attached to that and you're attached to this person. But sometimes, like, that part of them that you wanted, like, relationship-wise is dead. And, like, you trying to revive that, sometimes it just, like... It can't be revived. It's not because it's like they're still the same person. They're still there physically, but not there mentally.
You'll never find the same person in the same person twice. I really believe that. And yeah, it's hard because you're like essentially grieving the person that they once were, grieving this relationship that you guys had, and it's like you're just seeing them change in front of you, and you're like, you're not who you were when we first started dating or talking, and it's like really hard to understand because like, where are you? You have to be somewhere in there, and then you get glimpses of them, like you get glimpses of that person that you were like so deeply in love with, but
very hard to detach. But I feel like you just have to learn how to be comfortable on your own and how to like sit in your silence and sit with yourself. Gonna probably suck a lot at first, trust me. Like, I
honestly,
know,
yeah, like forever. But like, bro, I just feel like it's like always the same thing. Like, you have to love yourself, but it's like not everybody loves themselves. Like, a lot of people struggle with it. So it's like, hey, like now it's hard. And then I think so many people are stuck in the situation where it's like, I'm miserable with them, but I'm miserable without them.
So I'd rather be miserable with them.
I'd rather
we're just gonna stay attached.
With them. Yeah, like I'm not gonna be miserable alone. Like, at least sometimes I have happiness with them, rather than this constant miserableness by myself. With them, you may have these moments of peace, but that peace is temporary, as to like the peace you will get alone. Like, that's real peace, not an illusion of peace.
Yeah, it's something you're developing with yourself properly.
It's not what you want right now, but what do you want in the long run? That's what self-discipline really is.
Oh my god, instant gratification. I'm feeling lonely, I'm gonna go hit up my situationship and go sleep and cuddle with them and be all cute, but like, what is that gonna lead to? That's just gonna set you back because like you're trying to get over something or someone, and you keep on going back and you keep on going back any second you feel lonely, so then you're just gonna be in that cycle for forever. Don't complain about it then, because you're doing that to yourself. Yeah, that sounded harsh, I'm sorry. I swear I'm nice. I tried. It's hard being a human.
It is.
The emotions and feelings.
Because they'll hug you
I had really bad attachment issues. Like, letting go of somebody fully just scares me so much, and it's come to the point where it's like certain people, I feel like I'm just always gonna care about them. Are they always gonna care about me? I don't know, but I'm always gonna care about them. I'm gonna be 92, still like wanting to call them. Maybe I will call them and be like, hey, how are you? Like, bitch, it's been how many years? It's been 25 years.
This is John. Who are you? If I loved you, I always love you. It's not even like in a romantic way. If it's real love, it doesn't go away. Like, what? If I genuinely really love somebody, how is that gonna just go away overnight or in a couple years? Like, I'm gonna always care for you, unfortunately. But I think that's what like unconditional love is. It doesn't mean that you have to be in my life, but I'll always care for you. It doesn't mean you're gonna have access to me either. Care for you from afar. I don't know if everybody's like that, because some people are really like, no, like once this, I don't give a fuck.
Once this is done, it's done.
But I honestly feel like that's cap rap a lot of the time. I'm not gonna lie to you.
There's some people, I don't know, I beg to differ, because I generally know some people that had deep relationships with some people, and they're just like, oh, okay, well, it's done, I don't care anymore, next.
Like, you have to be a bot. Like, either you're a bot, 2, like you're literally an NPC, 2, they did something really bad to you, so it's
that's
like
why you're able
easier
to
be like that, or 3, you don't really fuck with them, like, to begin with. Even 2, when people are like, oh, if you move on quickly, you don't really fuck with them. I don't agree with that, because, bro, you know what I mean? People try to attempt to move on, and then, because they're like, we're humans. We long for love. It doesn't always work out, or it doesn't always, it's not always clean. It doesn't always look great. And that can be messy sometimes. So you move on quickly, but you're not moved on. You're laying there with them every night, thinking about the next person you love.
You don't know what's going on in somebody's head ever. So to say like how much they are over something, you'll never really know unless you're in that person's head.
Rebounds. That shit, it doesn't really work. Like, what's the point of that? Just be by yourself. Like, don't go to the next. But I mean, it happens.
We all know somebody that like has been in a relationship, and they're just always in a relationship. You're never single.
Like, they stay with a man, they stay with a girl, like always. Like, holy, like, when was the last time you were by yourself? When you were in the womb? Like,
yeah, give it a break.
Like, you know, actually give it a break. Like, it's not every single day relationship. Like, that's even concerning. Like,
yeah, and some of that time is necessary because you kind of learn about yourself again. Because sometimes when you're up under somebody's skin so much, you can, depending on the type of person you are, like lose sense of yourself. And I feel like it's nice to like spend some time.
I feel like you do regardless. Like, when you're in a relationship, the line between like compromise and self-betrayal gets so blurry. Like, it can get very blurry very fast. Like, because you're like, oh, I'm compromising this, I'm gonna do this. You change. Like, I just think it is important to be alone.
And it's okay to spend some time being selfish.
Yeah, literally. Not always. You have to think about somebody else. Like, who are you without somebody? What does that look like? No judgment, though. I think we get it, but
We listen and we don't judge.
Yes.
Like, we've all made mistakes, all done things we're not proud of, all had a hard time like detaching. Now we just have to take our lessons from them and figure out how to be better next time. Little do you know like how much mental space you take up. Like, they don't even know.
yeah, little do you know, everybody that like to know me is to know I love you. Even them, like, how, you know what I mean? Even them, they're like, no, you're still clearly not over this. Like, get help. It's hard because I'm like, I don't know if is that love or is that like fear and like trauma. Yeah,
It could be a mix of both. I think it might be. How I'm not able to like fully let go. How like I still want to know how they're doing. I still like. But I don't even know like where those attachment issues come from. Like, maybe it's just like I want to be around and I want to still feel connected to the people I love. Like, maybe it's just as simple as that. It's just like that's how I am. Like, my heart just like yearns to, like, you know, just like have that love always there. But I have to learn, like, in the real world that doesn't happen. Like, people don't love people unconditionally the same way that I am capable.
That's what I'm saying. Even with these attachment styles, it's like, is it really like from childhood? I don't know. Sometimes you're just wired a certain way. Like, you know, what if my heart's just big? Like, I don't know. Like, it's not even like that. Like, and certain people or certain things didn't help. But like, I was thinking about what you were saying when I was driving yesterday, though, about how you just don't want to be on bad terms with people. Become your friend.
They become your friend. You don't want to be on
you're
bad
my
terms.
friend. You know so much about me. I know so much about you. I care about you. I think you care about me. Like, you're literally just my homie. Like, I always want you around to some capacity. I want to be able to message you and be like, yo, you're okay. Like, you know, I just want to even be able to
Like, I don't look at that as weird.
Yeah,
but other people look at that as weird.
Exactly. You're like,
other people are like, you're so attached. Oh my gosh.
No, it's
Get
not
over
like
it.
that.
Like,
I just know what it's nice to be like, oh, we were we had this once upon a time, but we don't have that anymore. But like I could still see if he's okay, or like if I'm not good, he'll go on a walk with me, like shit like that. Like why isn't that like obviously if you're in a relationship, yeah, but
It's
if you're
different because you have to have
single,
respect.
yeah, like you know, why can't I just have somebody I'm just cool with? That's all it is, because like we all need somebody sometimes that knows us, especially when you go through certain things.
But here's the argument. It's like if you have other people that know you already have like enough. Why is it that you're trying to like attain more? But then I would argue that like, well, that the relationship was already done. It's not like I was out searching for like just having so many connections with so many people. It's just like when those things do happen,
Yeah.
then it's kind of already too late.
I don't feel like you're running out and looking for more. It's like you already have them. It's somebody that knows you, especially if like say you had somebody that you dated like 4 years ago and now you guys are friends or something. I don't know. So much has happened in the span of 4 years and you met so many new people, but sometimes it's nice to know people before you also went through really hard things. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how to explain
They kind of
it,
knew
but
you before
yeah,
this became what you are now.
What I am now, like, you
and
know.
then it kind of like brings you back to the person that you used to be, and it's like, wow, I remember like before that happened to me, before this happened to me, and like you knew me back then, and oh, that's like so. It's like the nostalgia of it all.
It's a nice thing to have. I don't really know how to explain that, but I've known you like from young to like it's just a different feeling. I don't know. I guess that's life though, and like you don't always end up on these good terms with people, and you don't always get to stay friends forever, and you know, and it is what it is, and it sucks. And like most days you won't think about it, and you don't really care, but sometimes you will. Certain things remind you of people. You'll listen to a song or you see something, and you're like, oh damn, we used to be friends. That's crazy. Now we're not, and that's it.
Some people are in your life for like a season or a lifetime. Let that be what it is.
Bye guys.